Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much for tuning in and sharing this now moment with myself and with one another. For those of you who haven't seen these videos before, welcome back if you have. It's morning for me. That's why I have the light on in my car. And actually, I'm parked, so I'm just gonna share. I was guided to just pop on here and share a little love. So, I'm going backwards. What I wanted to share was the energies, and it's constant rebirth for me. So what I've noticed is, like, every day I wake up and I feel completely different in so many ways, even than the day before. And the message was, we're constantly being gifted the opportunity to show up and express from our own truth, our own sovereignty. And the other message was, we are embodiments of all that we are. So I am that I am, of course, has been so real for me lately. And without getting into, let's just do a kiss, keep it simple, starseeds. I started these videos a year ago because I was guided to get out and share my own self-expression with what was coming through from who I lovingly call my higher guidance team and my ancestors, and etc., etc. But now I keep being guided by my higher soul aspects, that's who they are, to just realize that there is no compartmentalization anymore. A lot of us needed a compartmentalization because it made us feel like we were getting answers from somebody smarter than us, right? I'll never forget that Cryon, who I used to listen to all of the time, and I really enjoyed his teachings, and I still encourage anybody to listen to his teachings, were about, he said, your guides are you. And I was highly disappointed at the time. I was like, what do you mean your guides are you? Or do you ever talk to yourself and you have those people that go, well, as long as you don't answer. And it's like, well, why would I talk to myself if I don't want an answer? That would be crazy. But if I get an answer, then that means that's the reason I'm talking to myself, right? So the message basically is this. We are, and I love that Kate, I had a little conversation with the beautiful sister Kate the other day, which I'll be posting and sharing with you guys. And we were just kind of getting to know how we're going to be doing these conversations. And she said, you know, a lot of people are just needing to integrate their higher soul aspects. And that is the journey that I'm in right now. My rebirth is I'm rebirthing as my higher soul aspect from one sense of that. So for me, I am my higher guides. I am embodiment of all of my lineages, all of my ancestors. And when I speak, it's from that connection through source to these other versions of myself. But the message is, stop compartmentalizing it, because it's me now. Maybe from the future, maybe my Arcturian lifetime. So for me, I've integrated a lot of that. And now I'm just me. This is just who I am, bringing to the table what I have to say. And what I have to say is based on my everything, lifetime after lifetime in a particular system or a particular lifetime on earth. And at one time I was a shaman, and at one time, for me, I don't need at this point in my life to go back into my past life or see these future versions of myself. And I want to clarify though, for some people, that can be really helpful. And so there are those out there that want to know. And while that is awesome, and I highly encourage anybody who wants to do a past life regression or any of those particular therapies, so to speak, it can be really helpful in integrating these higher aspects, and it can be really helpful in understanding why it is that maybe we hold certain patterns, habits, right, or thoughts about ourselves or others. But the biggest, and everybody's on a different path. I hold no judgment about what's right or what's wrong anymore. I did in the beginning. I felt like there was a certain way that things should be done, but the message has been clear since I've started started this channel, that's why a lot of times I would get like, okay, this is a grandmother energy, or this is Syrian energy, or this is when, you know, shaman, Native American connection to some Aboriginal energy. That's all gone away for me. And I got frustrated at one point in my journey, wondering why I wasn't getting the clarity on who it was that was coming through. What energy is this? What archangel is this? And my guides, my higher soul aspects, and again, thank you, Kate, because I'm totally using that term and I love it. My higher guidance team is me. So why compartmentalize it? Does it matter what group that it's from? If it's here, if it's love, if it's a light, if it's, you know, I've got parts of me, we could say, in a compartmentalized 3D linear perspective, who are connected to certain star systems that maybe weren't all love and light. We all do. We're not all sunshine and rainbows. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We are in the process of embodying love. And that means embracing the shadow and recognizing that it is part of us. And once we embrace that and we come from integration and we bring it back into home, which is our heart, I've had some pretty scary experiences happen in my life. And then when I gave that scary experience a little love and I was like, oh, come here, give me a hug, it went away because I recognized, yes, that's an aspect of me, but that's not who I really am. That's just one version of what needed to show up for me to integrate that fear, that judgment, that trauma, whatever it is. So we're all on different parts of our journey. Some people are still integrating trauma. Some people are still integrating fear. Some people are not even realize at that point that they're even there yet. And they're just like in the bliss state. Some people never need to do that at all and just are completely in the bliss state. It isn't for us to necessarily judge where that person is at in their journey, because it can happen. And Kate and I were talking about this in an hour. So for some of us, it took years for us to process certain things. And I do hear teachers sometimes say, oh, you're in the beginning, it's going to take a while. Not necessarily. It can take time. But what's time? What's our concept of time? What are we associating time with? So the message that I had as I was rebirthed again this morning, and I'm being rebirthed again in this moment, and 5 minutes from now I'll be rebirthed again, is that it's not the same for everybody. Get out of the compartmentalization of why, what, where, when, how. For some people that's important, and it's an important stage and process of their awakening, and I went through that as well. That doesn't mean that I am like enlightened and completely ascended because this is the stage that I'm at. I could easily come into a different stage tomorrow that'll bring back in some shadow that I might have forgotten that was there and need to integrate. And it's all good. It's all beautiful. And I no longer judge myself and think, uh-oh, I must have gone backwards. I must have done something wrong. I must have, what did I do to deserve this? That is no longer in my vocabulary. And I invite you guys to step away from that as well. It's just part of the process. It's just part of what we came here to do. And when we recognize that we are our guides, and I want to go backwards. I felt back in the beginning when I started doing this, I needed somebody that was bigger and smarter than me to answer my questions. I felt like I needed to get answers from Arcturian energy. And so I would focus specifically on that. And I always had a difficult time doing that. If you guys have watched my videos, there's been a few where I've been like, okay, this is what it is. But my guides were always like, you're a hybrid. There is no, this is definitive, because I am this jack of all trades, right? I have all the suits on in this suit. That's what I'm doing, and I'm a rainbow. I do have this blue ray energy, and I do resonate with the indigo frequency, and I do feel this crystal frequency, and I've been told by many different people, you're this, you're from Sirius, you've got the Christed frequencies. And you know what I say to all of that? Yes. I love it all. And I didn't necessarily say this in the same way a year ago. And this is where I'm at right now. And I wanted to just pop on and share with you guys, everybody's at a different stage. And our stage can change in a heartbeat. We can just all of the sudden be in a different stage of development. And we don't have to feel like, oh, I missed step C, I'm at step D now. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. No, I might be a Z. And then I might be starting in a whole new alphabet, right? So for those out there that are wondering, I invite you, like, you've got light language coming in, you've got dancing coming in, right? A lot of sisters out there doing some dance moves, flow with the frequency in the hands, energy coming in. If you're here and you're in a space of love and you're in a place of sovereignty, not saying, yes, that power is going to take over me, or I'm giving my power over to this. That's not what it's about. We're working together in this. It's teamwork as us in oneness. So it's about coming into the heart and being in a place of coherence. And if we have fear, integrate it. If we have something coming up that we need to work through and we need some time to ourselves, come from that place of non-judgment and recognize that it's all good. In essence, meaning it's all part of the rebirthing process. I'm rebirthing, moment to moment. And I am in the process, and this is just me sharing where I'm at and the energies that I'm feeling and tapping into. That doesn't mean that's where you're going to be right now in this moment, and that's okay. There's plenty of people out there who are helping each other by just bringing their vibration of love and acceptance to the table. Because there might be, I might be feeling wonderful and I'm ready for this expansiveness stage, and the person next to me might be going through a really difficult time in their life and they just might need a hug. They don't need me to necessarily come in and say, well, you're integrating the Pleiadian aspect of you that was caught up in the Orion Wars, whatever it might be. You guys get where I'm going with that. Or, okay, well, you're integrating an aspect of you that was caught within the Trail of Tears. And while that may be something that helps them and that they need to hear, then so be it. But that isn't necessarily what is needed right now. What is needed right now is holding the vibe and recognizing when we're not, and not judging ourselves when we're not, and coming back into it. However we need to do that. Getting grounded, loving our bodies, listening to awesome music, and sometimes it's just giving someone a gift card or bringing them a flower. Any of it. So I just wanted to share that's where I'm at right now. I am going to share messages and downloads that I receive still in light language because that's what I do. I love it. It's fun. And these are all aspects of me that want to bring through information of love and light. But this shift that's occurring is coming from within us. It isn't coming from waiting for somebody to land and to save us and rescue us. That concept of the prince rescuing the princess is an old paradigm. We are the prince, we are the princess, we are coming together in divine union, we are that. We are the savior, so to speak, in essence of saving ourselves. As we do this, we recognize there's nothing to save because we're here experiencing, and we have the gift of life. The gift of life is the opportunity that we are being gifted moment to moment to make that choice of ascension, of sharing this with everybody else that's on earth experiencing the gift of life. So it is coming from that place of non-judgment, and I just wanted to pop on and share that with you guys. So I'll do another video this afternoon, maybe when I'm driving on my way home. So in the meantime, have a beautiful day in love and light, guys. Have fun creating. You guys, if you're inspired to dance, paint, sing in light language, go for it. Who cares what other people think? right? It doesn't matter. We don't need that validation anymore. And I get it. I wanted that validation. I loved hearing that I was helping people. But primarily, when I look back on it, I did this channel so that others wouldn't feel alone, but also so that I wouldn't feel alone. So that when I reached out and other people, I would feel good. It was really, what it boils down to is, it's not even about that. It's about self-expression. And I'm recognizing that now. I've been recognizing it, but I just want to reiterate it. It's about being able to express who I am on a platform. Maybe 10 people will see it and feel the love. Maybe 100 people will see it. It doesn't matter. My platform is here. And as I share that and spread it, and people share this and they're in their own way, we sprinkle that in our network, our starseed network. We send out that frequency because we are the diamond portals. We are the many facets coming together and reflecting the light as one in love and light. There's going to be little stuff in the diamond. That's what makes the diamond unique. There's going to be little imperfections, and that's what we're exploring. And as we explore those imperfections, we expand even more. So, in love and light, guys, you're perfect just the way you are. And I appreciate you. And I'm just sending out the love. Namaste.